Okay, so I haven't played Madden in probably, I don't know, it's been a while. Obviously, I don't have the new Madden, and I really wanted to play this, honestly, just to talk about EA in general. Fuck your Ultimate Team. God, here we go, triggering me already. Like, get 50% off the new Madden so you can buy more fucking packs. No. 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 Okay, yes, Black Lives 100% matter. Thank you for keeping that up. No. Okay. I'm sure everyone by now fucking heard the news about... Let me open my beer here. Heard the news that EA is making a college football game. You got two sides of the aisle here, right? You got two sides of the church aisle. One side is, oh my god, I've been wanting a college football game for so long. I don't want to spend $200 on NCAA 14 and go buy a PS3 for $150, only for then to find out that maybe the PS3 is full of roaches or some shit like that. Dude, there is so much. There is so many variables to what the fuck has happened between the NCAA suing and doing the name like this thing and Madden EA just royally fucking this football community in the ass. There's so many things that's happened between then and there. And we know it's well documented. Ryan Moody posts about it a lot. Even Angry Joe has a lot of tons of rants about Madden. We know the issues with Madden. Okay, so I'm not going to delve into that. But it's interesting to note that the college football world is going to come back in some capacity. It's very interesting. Not the Expert did post a video, if you guys want to go check it out, about basically a huge wish list of how to make a college football game great. And in that, he put a disclaimer that not everything is going to be there, obviously. He doesn't even expect like 10% of it to really be in the game. But it's something that for us to build upon and talk and have a platform to voice what we want. So what I'm asking you guys, my X number of subscribers, is what do you want to see in a college football game? Personally, I want to see a college football game that's a lot like NCAA 14. I really enjoyed the engine. There was some janky physics and stuff like that, you know, some glitchy things. But I really, really, really enjoyed the depth of the franchise. After playing it for so many years, you can actually exploit it, obviously. But there was a lot of good things. The coaching tree, the hiring and firing of assistants, just complete total control, even down to your academic prestige. Fighting for those top recruits. There's so many good things to be done with the college football part of games. Maybe this is a chance for EA to come out of that darkness, man. And I swear to God, if there's a college football ultimate mode, it's going to be ridiculous, the backlash. But you're going to have these homies who do it anyway and bust open packs, and I don't know how you can do that with college football because, well, the NCAA agreed that they can use their name and likeness. If you notice with the Twitter post, it's really, there's no NCAA logo attached to it. It's just EA college football. They say, thank you for believing, for those who never gave up, or whatever, college football is back. Okay. We get that. Here's what I want from EA. Because at this point, we have no other choice. Because 2K is licensed only to make a non-simulation style football. We don't know what they're going to be releasing soon. We know they're going to be releasing a game. We just don't know what it's going to be. If it's going to be like a head coach style, we don't know. We just don't know what they're going to be releasing. I wish they would go the all pro football route. But just make generic teams and make it college. We know that there is Doug Flutie's Maximum Football by Canuck Games. We know that 1 to 2 people created that game, and that's a super deep franchise, but the gameplay is probably maybe a 2 out of 10. We know that there is options, but EA has an opportunity here to grow and to get out of the ooze that it's their own fucking greed. They have that opportunity here, and they have to take that opportunity to say, you know what? Hey, if you thank us for believing, then make us believers. If you're happy that we never lost hope, then make us expect something in return. Now, EA's track record is really, really bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. If anyone's watched next-gen gameplay for PS5 or Xbox Series X for Madden, it's the exact same copy and paste game, just a tiny bit better fidelity and graphics. That's it. It's the exact same game. So we know that they have a track record of not doing what's required, not doing the minimum. They barely do the bare minimum. It's an old tired line. It's a raw through update every year for probably more than half of the community. But we're brainless, mindless zombies, and we buy it anyway because football. There's a deep passion for football, and especially in the video game genre. Most sports are neglected. FIFA is a mess. NHL is a fucking mess. NBA is a mess. Football has been a mess for so long. And then you got the smaller franchises. I mean, there's been arena football games, there's been rugby, there's been cricket and things like that. There's been smaller games that just don't get the level of attention and money that these big companies have. The problem we find is that these big companies just don't want to spend the money, they want to keep making it. So with that all said, my wish list is going to be simply a game that has the similar physics of NCAA 14, the similar engine. We know it's probably going to be a Frostbite engine because it's what's running on Madden 21 and Madden 20. So we're going to expect that same kind of gameplay. I hope not, personally. I hope they redo an engine or make a college football engine. I would hope that they would get at least a couple of college football players in a stadium somewhere where they could do live capture motion. All you need is 11 guys on offense and 11 guys on defense to really capture that motion to make sure that they're, nothing's perfect, obviously, but basically, what we care about is the depth. We want the depth. We want to take a crappy Elon team or Mississippi Valley State or Arkansas Pine Bluff or whatever, like we used to do back in the old NCAA games. And, we want to recruit the heck out of that school, or we want to create our own school and make it walk-ons and stuff and take it to the national championship. We want to feel that again. And the only way that we can do that is if EA goes back to what made the NCAA game so amazing. I mean, every year, maybe not the sales-wise, but every year it seems like people wanted to play the college football games way more than the Madden games. And so my wish list here is coaching tree, transfer portal. I want more than 100 teams, EA. Even if we have to, I want full customization of every single aspect. I want to be able to be the damn athletic director. I want to be that guy. Instead of being a head coach, make us the president of the university. We can set ticket prices and food and concession, create our own stadiums. I want to be able to dive into the transfer portal as a low team, right? And say, hey, this guy's proximity to home is number one right now. He has a family illness. I want to be able to recruit him to my school and say, hey, man, we may not be the biggest school right now, but you are half an hour away from your mom, right? We are half an hour away from your family. You're going to get a great education, and you're going to get some really good exposure because you're going to be the best player on our team. And we're going to be playing against some of the top teams. I want that depth and level of customization. They can do it. They've done it before, not maybe to that level of depth because of technology back then, but they have done it to where you could set hot dog prices in Madden games. They have done that, okay? They can do it again. They can do it again. We need it to happen. We need it to be something that we can rely on. That we can come home and say, fuck every other game I have. I am playing EA college football. Now, when will it ever be NCAA football? Who knows? There's a lot of articles out there saying that this game isn't even coming out this year. There's some articles saying that it's going to come shortly before the college football season this year. We just don't know because EA likes to tease people. Now, if EA had it their way, they would set up pre-orders right now to start raking in that cash before we even see gameplay. That's if they had it their way. Unfortunately, they don't have it their way right now due to a lot of things in the world. I'm going to try not to talk about what's happening out in the world because you seem to get demonetized and things like that during YouTube. So I'm not going to talk about that. But what we really would like to see is just a 180 from that thinking, that mindset. And it's tough to come away from that because money and greed over gameplay. But see, here's the thing. There's not going to be an Ultimate Team, or at least not a variation of what's in Madden right now. Because you can't use name and you can use name and likeness, but it's going to be really tough to do so, right? So they have to find a way to do that. Number two, okay, if they don't have a deep franchise mode, then there's going to be riots. There's going to be, I'm telling you, there's going to be boycotting. There's going to be so many things. Number three, you have to have mod support. You got to make something that has mod support on PC, okay? And then you got to find a way to implement that into consoles as well. You know, the file sharing system is so nice, but what if instead of downloading rosters, you could download teams? Someone would spend hours and hours and hours creating all the teams from the 80s and the 90s, the 1940s, right? You know, custom uniforms, things like that from the 40s. You get a black and white filter when you're playing. Just the mind-boggling things that can be done because the next-gen technology could take advantage of it, right? Okay? Then, you know, we get into smaller things like coaching press conferences and stuff like that. Similar to what 2K does with their My Player career and things like that. You're the coach or you're a player, right? You could say things that are beneficial or not beneficial to your team and play out a story that way. The Heisman race has to be amazing. Give us an opportunity to make more an expanded playoff. Give us that customization to say, you know what, the 4 teams, hey, you're going to, right in the settings, you're going to be able to do 4, 16, 32, 20, you know, whatever, 64 team playoff. And just watch your season just keep on going. And you take this very small team that you've worked your ass off building in the off season and training and developing and watch them go from Cinderella, right, to a national championship or at least an appearance in the Elite Eight or the top or the Final Four, right? Similar to college basketball. Make us have that level of, you know, give us spring training games. Give us, you know, there's so many things that we could have. So that's kind of my wish list. I want it to be a really good game. I want it to be, you know, I want it to have my Florida Gators. If you guys are looking at the screen right now, you see that I took the Denver Broncos. I downloaded a roster that had the entire 2020 Florida Gators roster in it. Now, I'm a couple years into this franchise, and I'm playing it on, you know, obviously all Madden difficulty. I have Dan Mullen as the coach and things like that, you know what I mean? And I got Kyle Trask as my quarterback and Emory Jones as a backup. I got Damian Pierce and Lorenzo Lingard and Malik Davis and Trayvon Grimes, Kadarius Toney, Kyle Pitts. I got all those guys, and that's fun. That's fun. It gives me a little taste of the college, but it's still NFL, and it's still, you know, it's just whatever. It's still Madden. I want to go back to the college football days. I want to recruit, man. I want to get these diamonds in the rough. I want to take these players that may not be built for our system, and they bust out. You know, you get that 5-star. But because they're a spread player and you run a pro-style system, they never really fit and they don't play as well. So you have to get that backup quarterback who's a 2-star, who's meant for your system, and all of a sudden he's that rising guy. You get these people coming in from the crowd, right, that say, you know, or you get all these social media things to say, play the second stringer. How many times do people wish for that second stringer because that first stringer is just not meant for your system? He's not there. All of a sudden you start to get the hot seat. You get coaching carousels. You get, you know, if there's a staff member on your team, let's say your defensive coordinator, who's doing really well for years and years and years, all of a sudden that guy starts getting attention from lower schools that want to hire him as a head coach. Well, then you have to negotiate that contract as well to keep him there, or you're going to lose him and you have to go find somebody else at the last second. And that could impact your team as well. You know, recruiting battling with other schools for top recruits. I want that level of depth so much. I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to come home and sit down and do this, right? I want to be able to come home and have fun. So, In conclusion, the new EA college football game, we have to remember, this is EA. We have to temper our expectations. If we were expecting, like if we talked about all this, right, let's say it's everything's 100%, right? We have to maybe bump it down to maybe 25, 30% on the max for EA. Because really, their bottom line for EA, Tiburon, and all those guys is money and profit. They want to make a cash cow just like Madden is, just like NHL, just like NBA, well, not NBA. Thank God the Live franchise kind of died out, but just like their baseball, their basketball, or their baseball, their football, and their hockey and their soccer, right? They want a continuous influx of cash. So we have to remember that. I mean, it's a business. I get it. There's that side of things. I mean, Activision is the same way with their Call of Duty franchises. They want a continuous influx of cash. It's no longer just about the day one sales, the 30-day sales, the 60-day mark. What are we selling? We gotta get extra. We want more for our executives. So we understand that. We can get it out of the way. If we can expect at least 30% of the things that I talked about, or that Not the Expert talked about, or that Angry Joe has talked about, or all these other YouTubers with their wish lists, I think that we can make a common ground and say, hey, look, if we can't get all of it, let's get half of it. Let's just get the core things that make a college football game great. Honestly, what I would really love to see is that on top of the new college football game, they remaster or they re-release these college football games from days of old on the next generation consoles, right? They go back, they retool them a little bit, make them look good, make them look HD, and then release them. They can release them now because guess what? The name and likeness doesn't matter anymore. NCAA can still make their money, and so can EA. People will eat this shit up buying these older EA football games, especially college. It's a huge, huge marketing thing that they can really tack on with it. Just similar to Call of Duty when they released Infinite Warfare. They attached the Modern Warfare remastered game to it to boost their numbers and sales, right? Now, that's a huge, huge what if. But again, I think that it's something that they should explore. So anyway, that's my wish list for the new EA College Football game. What's yours? What do you want to see in the new game? What do you want to have as a college football game? Thank you so much, guys, for watching, liking, and subscribing. This is Feeney here. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.